Alright guys, so before we start, first things first. This video was actually uploaded a few days, maybe even a week before. Problem with that was unintentional. Usually what happens is I record the gameplay on my PS4, get it to YouTube, and then I'll record the audio, like this, do all the editing and whatnot. But the thing is, I'm supposed to unlist them before I get them over to YouTube. I did not do that. So you guys saw a video that was not supposed to happen. But here it is, and what's supposed to be proper. So let me go. So now with that out the way, let me just decrease my size here and move me over. I'm a little too. And there we go. That should do just fine. That should do just fine. Still might be a little too big. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, as a Gilga, it's going to take up half the freaking screen here. So yeah, let's call it there. Let's say that's good enough. Anyway, Gelgoog High Mobility type.
Catapult deck is open.
That's
Mobile
a lot
suit
on my
team,
side.
move
It's
out.
probably coming through my mic. Probably because it was on max volume. That would probably be the case. But this is the Gelgoog High Mobility type. It starts out as a 450 General. Personally, I thought it was always good, but they recently gave it a buff to where now it has Maneuver Armor level 1.
Begin the
And considering
mission.
the Gelgoog size, it's about goddamn time we got something like that. It is among probably top 10 fastest mobile suits in the game without any, like, boots or super mode or transformations or anything like that. I think it's top 10. I think it's one top 10 mobile suits in the game. Don't
The
quote
enemy
me on
has
that.
secured a beacon.
As for weapons, it comes with either the Dom's giant bazooka, this, or this little rocket launcher. Comes with, what is it, the MMP-80 machine gun as kind of a answer to the Gundam's Vulcans. And has grenade beam Naginata, so it can do Gelgoog
The
things.
enemy's jamming is causing electronic interference.
One thing I should say is I'm in a game here with my boys Maelstrom and Nova Gundam. And something interesting about this game, something that I didn't want to talk about, is kind of the state of raids and supports in the game, but first to Gelgoog Himo.
An allied unit has been destroyed. Taking significant damage.
You can also use the Gelgoog beam rifle with this, but that's not... I don't think it's really good for that. Personally, I prefer to use this as your standard, close range, general, bullshit shenaniganery. That's why I prefer to use it. I like the Gelgoog beam rifle well enough, but I don't like using it with this specific mode. In terms of the bazookas, well, you can kind of take your pick. The Dom bazooka does more damage, but this, I guess, with the Himo bazooka, I think it has a higher projectile velocity, so it's a lot easier to hit people with that. That, or it has a higher blast radius than it. I'm not sure. All I noticed is that it's easier to hit people. That probably wasn't the greatest move in the world. I probably should have backed up, but I thought he was going to melee me. Thankfully, he has no legs. And I find that goddamn near perfectly. And this was also a very difficult match too, by the way. But the reason why I kind of want to talk about raids and stuff is because they have, if you haven't noticed by now, I didn't notice at the time, they have 2 Red Riders. Not Red Riders, sorry. They have 2 Black Riders.
An allied unit has been destroyed.
The Black Rider is a mobile suit with freaking Halo active camouflage, an instant stun bazooka, which is actually a real gun, so it probably acts a little more like a beam rifle, honestly. And it has a super mode, and there are 2 of these fucking things. The problem with what I believe stealth suits, just about any stealth suit in the game, and why I think they're probably the best raids in the game, is that either you have the tools for beating them, or you do not. In this case, we absolutely 100% do not. And there's only really, like, one suit in the game that can really, truly deal with it, so to speak, and that is kind of the Ewak Jet. Ewak Zack, and the Ewak Jake. Those are kind of the only 2. That's because they have this very wide area of effect going, go through obstacles, scan, which will reveal the location of all enemies, even if they have stealth, regardless of what kind it is. So in teams with, like, very powerful stealth, it's almost a requirement to have an eyesight, or it can feel like it. Or else, it can feel like... It's been like this for over a year now, it has to be. me trying to find the goddamn Red Rider, but it feels like 1/3 of the game's unviable. I know it's not really like that, but certainly in my
Allied unit
hands,
has been
it
destroyed.
feels like 1/3 of the game is becoming unviable. Maybe it's not like 33%, maybe it's more like 28, but that's still a bit too much to ask. Get back kill. He's
You're
dead.
on a roll.
So they have 2 stealth suits, so we always have to kind of. Granted, we do have a
An allied unit has been destroyed.
Ifrit. Why was that coming to me differently, like hard? But there are suits in game with anti-stealth. I don't think the Ifrit is one of them, but the the Agzaku is. Problem with the Agzaku is it only reveals it for you, the Agzaku, and it doesn't reveal it for your teammates. And there's no voice chat in this game. And the Agzaku is kind of awful because it loads decently fast. It is quite frail. Its legs are incredibly fragile. So I find it unoptimal, especially only to deal with like 2 suits.
No need for concern.
There I could be using better suits at 450 to do the same thing, or something like not do the same thing, but I would get more mileage out of other suits.
Ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. That mobile
Thankfully,
suit
these
can't
Red Riders
take
aren't
much
that
more.
good.
You should eject.
I'm not going to diss their names here, as I don't think it's a matter of they're not good. I think it's a matter of the struggle with dealing with them was that they were tools.
This is a winning strategy.
They aren't bad players, not in the least. They're clearly on comms and working together.
Ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
But, it wasn't impossible to deal with them, thankfully.
Requesting
Yeah, I think Gundam Battle Operation is really just starting to get to the point where supports are really nudging against the edge of unviability by and large. Now there are a couple which completely just overturned this. The Delta Gundam, I believe. The Isaac, that's another one. That was an accident. Oh yeah, because I kind of forgot my little reminder here, be sure to like, subscribe, and do all your stuff. It really helps out the channel, really helps out me.
Destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
It's a difficult balancing act, right? Because if you make supports too good, then you basically reward them for barely playing the game. Basically, because all you need to do is park up on a rock or something and shoot anything that walks into your line of sight. That is support at its worst, right? And we had that at the beginning of the game where I don't think military support wasn't in the game at the time. It was a base with the I'm forgetting things. It was the coastal base map where they can kind of just sit up on the HLV, sit up on the buildings, and there's nothing you can do about it because there wasn't a raid that could deal with them until the advent of the Blue Destiny and the Recruit Kai. You messed that one up.
Taking significant damage. Be careful.
I just barely don't get
unit has been destroyed.
So we don't want to get into a position where it's just like you can be held off at 700, 800 meters and there's nothing you can do about it. We don't want to get into, trying to fight the enemy supports is like walking to a hail of bullets, because that's not fun. But also making 1/3 of the game unviable also is, I don't think, the greatest way of dealing with it.
Beacon captured.
Me trying to jump in here.
Requesting to
Now the enemy team makes a pretty big blunder here. What they should have done is they should have understood, okay, they win if they do nothing. They should have ran for their goddamn lives and retreated to base as quickly as they could. But nope. I see one guy trying to back off by himself.
Minor damage. No need for concern.
My friendly team is trying to do something about that.
Enemy mobile suit is down.
I somehow managed to get the splash damage around the building. I didn't think I would hit that shot. And that's that. Still, there's 3 of us and 1 of this guy, so we can hopefully kill him. No, we shouldn't 100% be able to kill him so long as we don't get a knockdown.
An allied unit has been destroyed.
Yep.
Ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Time has run out.
Yeah, supports definitely need something to
It was close, but we did it.
gain relevance again, but in the meantime, the Gelgoog is Gelgoog. Again, I want to say thank you to my boys Maelstrom and Nobu Gundam for joining me here. Let's see how many kills I got. I think 7-2. Yeah, 7-2, 7-2. I didn't talk much about the Gelgoog Himo in this one, but don't worry, you'll be seeing more of this thing. Maybe not tomorrow or next time or whatever, but you'll be seeing more of it. Don't even worry about that. But yeah, look at this. They had 3 raids on the team at 450, and they still nearly won. Once you're starting to get over centralized, you're starting to have a problem. I mean, we're at the point now where you can instead of running like 2 generals, 2 raids, 2 supports, or for example, or 4 generals and then one of each, which is I guess what you would call standard. It's more than enough. You're now starting to get to the point where you can squeeze 2 raids, and that second raid is like a specialty one, like a shooty raid or a stealth raid or something like that. So supports are being just slowly but surely pushed out. I gotta tell you, boys, I'm not really here for it. They need to figure out something, and I guess we can talk more about that in another video. I'll see y'all later.